this sectarian strife to Mali, and all they were French colonies. Is this a coincidence?
It cannot be. It cannot be. You're trying to be so, how do you call it, so nice talking, but or how do you call it, nice talking, but I don't see it like this way. I don't see it this way. There's so
you have the mic, sir. Just explain and elaborate how would you see this if it's not a coincidence?
Well, I think there is some the West are the West and America in particular are trying to raise the how do you call it, the fears against the Muslim, how do you call it, waves, or the feelings, or
Islamophobia.
Islamophobia. They are trying to feed this Islamophobia all over the world, to how do you call it, to explain or to give a reason. Or
you know, if Americans are listening to us now, they are going to resort all what you have just said as conspiracy theory. But this is France.
This
it's
is
not
France.
here. This time it's not America. But I mean, I'm serious to say that Central Africa, Mali, Nigeria, Kenya, you know, and all are going around the same target: sectarian violence and civil war, and just to have all the time incidents from here and there to spread chaos.
That's right. That's right. They want to keep us under pressure all the time. To how do you call it? To hinder our progress. To prevent us from building our own source of power and independence and progress. This is their theory, and this is I'm sorry to say this is their conspiracy. I'm sorry to say it, but it's a fact. It's a fact.
But still, we do have something else from the Washington Times. And FI's plans B to reform itself without America. From the Washington Times, we read, the International Monetary Fund has a plan B for proceeding with reforms, giving greater powers to developing countries, even though the United States has not approved them, but it's not ready to take that route yet. And these were the quotes by Managing Director Christine Lagarde on Thursday. Anybody could ever imagine that the IMF can have a plan to reform its structure without America? Or this would be only a propaganda before this restructuring process?
By coincidence, I have been working with the IMF for some time back in the 1980s.
Wow.
And by that time, I understand that IMF and America is one thing. There's no separation between these two things. America and IMF are almost one thing, one entity. So the IMF is a vehicle of America to implement all their policies and projects and understanding of what to do in the whole world.
Before leaving this point, sir, and before going into this, to whom it may concern, Egypt was one of the founders of the World Bank and the IMF long ago. Going back to this and to echo what you were saying, do you think that this IMF-America relations is going to have more power, or to give America more power to have more sanctions on Russia regarding the Ukrainian crisis, or it's going to be separated as Russia is also a big power?
No, certainly America can use the IMF to do whatever she likes to do against Russia concerning the Ukrainian crisis. Certainly.
Still, Russia is a heavyweight country.
Going to be in the process of being a heavyweight, but not yet.
For instance, I would say about this gas story with Russia and Ukraine, and Russia now doubled and maybe tripled the prices of its gas to Ukraine, and they want their money now. And on the other side of the coin, America is there to put more sanctions and to have this conspiracy theory, we may say, with the IMF to put more sanctions on Russia. When it's going to end, or how it's going to proceed?
Well, both America and Russia has to find a compromise about this, because the Ukrainian crisis, from the Russian point of view, is something, how do you call it, is something fatal. They cannot compromise about this. They have to reach some kind of a facelifting, how do you call it, a facelift,
Yeah.
facelift solution to save both the vanity of the United States and Russia. But Russia has every right to do whatever what she's doing now in Ukraine, because because of the strategic importance of Ukraine regarding Russia.
We are still with some business news, but from the daily news this time, Moody's changes Turkey's credit rating outlook to negative from stable. International credit rating agency Moody's has changed April 11th the outlook on Turkey's government bond rating to negative from stable. Where is Turkey going? About the judiciary system, about banning social networks, about now this is something else regarding its economy, about so many things together at a time. Erdogan said, of course, the Turkish Prime Minister said he is going to negotiate with Abdullah Gül, the Turkish president, to see who is going once again to run for presidency.
Well, I think that the most important point, the most important point from the Turkish point of view is to join the European community. To do this and to achieve this, they are willing to do whatever they are being able to do just to achieve this target. Introducing the European community will lead Turkey to be one of the major power in all over the world. Power, I mean economical powers. And it will open so many gates wide open for Turkey economically, politically, and strategically. So the main important point from the Turkish point of view is to enter the European community.
But after the latest incidents and after the Turkish way of dealing with international affairs in specific, do you think that still Turkey has a chance to join the EU?
No, chances are fading, and how do you call it? Are fading, and chances are becoming so limited for Turkey to, unless they take another turnaround and try to compromise with the international standards.
Sir, what do you mean by turnaround? Do you mean turnaround under Erdogan or not under Erdogan?
Either Erdogan to refresh his mind and try to find another solution, or to find another.
I'm asking this because Erdogan, he himself said, despite the fact that I will abide by the court law and put on track once again Twitter and YouTube and those social networks, he said that I do not respect this court order.
Court order, yeah.
How
court
I
decision.
how I can say that a ruler like this, or a governor or a leader or whatever, with these statements can be accepted in the EU?
Well, these statements are a reflection of his newly accomplished success in the elections. But after a very short time, he will come to realize the real facts on the ground, and they have to abide by the international standards.
But still, do you expect some developments? I mean, in the coming period, do you expect some developments?
Sure. I expect so many changes, and very soon in the Turkish scene, on the Turkish scene.
Sir, unfortunately, we're running out of time, but before we leave, thank you very much for being with us in this episode of The World Today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
This was Mr. Nabil Salahuddin, who was our political analyst for this episode. On behalf of our director, Tariq Farouk, Friel Muhammad Abdullah, myself, Nermeen Abdurrahman, many thanks for watching. Have a very good evening.